You are watching a special presentation from Tinkle Group Gaming. Hello guys, and welcome here to the 7-Eleven IndyCar Series, race number 4 here today from Circuit of the Americas. Today we are here for the IndyCar Classic. Of course, I'm Brian here in the booth with you. Starting from the pole this afternoon will be the number 9 of Casey Naneko. He was your winner at Twin Ring Motegi, and now he's hoping to get win number 2 here and hoping to get it on a road course this time. To his outside will be the number 88, one of the Andretti cars, Andretti Harding Steinbrenner, that number 88 of Alex Tanker. As we get going, of course, it is our third road course race of the season. We've seen 3 different winners so far as we enter here race number 4. We are also gearing up because, again, later this week, we have our second street course event, I believe, at St. Petersburg. And then, of course, we wrap up the week racing-wise at Indy for the GMR Indy Grand Prix before we, of course, kick off the long week ahead that will feature the Indianapolis 500 qualifying on Saturday and the Indy 500 practices and other qualifying stuff throughout next week. So busy week coming up, busy, but we have business to take care of here today at Circuit of the Americas, and let's not waste another minute getting down to business. We'll show you your starting lineup, and when we come back, the green flag from COTA in just a moment. Here we go. We're getting ready to go racing here at COTA for the second IndyCar Classic here. Of course, IndyCar only got one try here in 2019. COVID ruined the 2020 race, and then they haven't returned since. And if you ask me, my opinion is I'd rather be here than at TMS for the IndyCars, but again, I'm not the boss of the series. Nonetheless, it is Casey Naneko, your winner from Twin Ring Motegi. Then Alex Tanker, series rookie, looking to get his first win and join the Andretti team in victory lane this season. As the pace car will peel off, they're going to lead us down the front straightaway. Green flag, we're underway at COTA. Already Naneko out to a pretty strong lead. Fogelman cleared for third. .4 miles around this road course. Or 3.4 miles makes up this road course, rather. And again, IndyCar only had one event here in 2019. If you ask me, this race should have continued, and the Texas Mile and a Half should not have continued. Look at the speeds they are reaching. The highest speeds on a road course this season. And here comes the 88. He pushes Naneko out into the sand trap. Oh, Casey Naneko is not going to appreciate that one. No caution either. And that gives Alex Tanker the lead, but oh man, is that 9 going to be upset. He just straight up, I mean, there's no explanation for that. He just straight up got dumped into the corner. And for a rookie like Alex Tanker, that is not a way to make friends around here. And here comes the 88. He's got damage. Battle for the presumptive race lead. We'll be right back. Battle for the lead. Sorry, I had to go away. It was garbage night. Mitchell Collins to the lead on the opening lap. Alex Tanker, though, and Casey Naneko, they got together. And it looks like Alex Tanker's day is going to come to an end. But Mitchell Collins, a road course ringer in his own right, he becomes the new race leader with Reggie Fogelman running in second. Then you got Lyle Austin, who's running in third with that Chip Ganassi Racing Honda. And how's about Jessica Strauss? She just won't go away. And that's a good thing, because she's running really well this season so far, running in that fifth spot, trying to take the points lead. But again, we mentioned it in pre-race. After today, we go to St. Petersburg. That'll be the last race before the next two in Indy. Here we go. This is always a trouble spot. Can they back it down? They do. Oh, the 7 and the 98 might have gotten together. And we look on back 2, 3 wide, door to door goes the 15 and the 29. That's Mitchell Hodak, the road course ringer. I made the mistake. I thought it was Aubrey Scott in that car. Aubrey Scott is in the 27. So my mistake from last week, or last race rather. Look at this battle for second that's heating up. Here we go, the 8, Lyle Austin. The 26 of Reggie Fogelman. And Fogelman's just going to give it up. I think he knows the 8's just so much stronger right now. Let him have it and see if he can make some adjustments on that pit stop and get back to him. Man, look at Lyle Austin. He's now putting the pressure on Mitchell Collins for the lead. Lyle Austin, keep in mind, he was a part-timer in the Jello Cup Series. He ran for the money team, did not run the road courses. He ran all the super speedways and the double points events. So this is really the first chance we get to see Lyle Austin competing on something that is not Daytona or Talladega or Indy, for that matter, or Darlington. We get to see him on a whole new discipline, and you can see he's proven to be a road course guy so far early on. The 3 races he's been in this car, or 2 races he's been in this car, in this race so far, he's been pretty impressive. Not a bad run going for that Chip Ganassi team. Again, that team won the Indy 500 last year as well. So another element to add. Oh, here we go. Right into the back of Mitchell Collins. He's just letting him know he's there right now. I think that's what that was. He was just saying, hey, right here. And Mitchell here, you know, he's leading. But do you want to give up the lead, knowing that that 8 is so much faster? I mean, we saw what Austin Shaw did last week. Austin Shaw, when he got the lead, he put on a clinic. And if you let that 8 car by and he gets out to a big enough lead before you have to pit, he could very well put on a clinic himself. So if I'm Mitchell Collins, I know what I just said about Reggie Fogelman, but I don't think I want to let him by just yet. And again, I know he's so much if I'm Mitchell Collins, again, I know he's so much faster than I am right now. Okay, he just ran his fastest lap of the race. 2:17.78. He ran about 5/10 quicker than the 12 did. But again, we saw last week what kind of clinic was put on at Mexico. Another technical racetrack like this one, with that 48, and this 8 team is in the same shop as Austin Shaw. I don't think I want to give it up. I almost want to be, if you're going to take it from me, you're going to have to muscle it. And you see there, he's putting the bumper to him again. Keep in mind, IndyCar is usually no contact. And if you usually do avoidable contact, it's normally a penalty. And in fact, I think Race Control did mention if the 88 didn't DNF, he very well could have gotten an avoidable contact penalty. Again, I don't know how we're going to assess it, if we're going to assess it. And you see there, though, the 12 is so much better on the well, that part of the track, he's so much better on the cornering than the 8. The 8 is just... The 8's got better corner, and the 12's just got better straight line. But you'll see here the back half of what would be F1 Sector 3 going into Sector 1. You'll see that 8 really close up that gap and really put the pressure to Mitchell Collins. Meanwhile, 3rd, 4th on back, just spread out right now. And you'll see it here, heavy braking zone. That 8 should close right up. It was a 2:19 last time by, and Mitchell Collins was 3/10 faster than the 8. And Sector 2, Sector 3 is where he found that speed. And if you're Lyle Austin sitting back there, you gotta be thinking now, he's not letting me by. Had he let me by, you know, I could have probably pulled away. I just need to stay close enough to him now. I need to keep stalking him. If I'm the 8, I want to keep stalking him right now. I want to make his life difficult. But I also want to be there at pit stops, because even though it's Team Penske and we know how little they hiccup on these pit stops, you don't want to give him a, you want to beat him off the pit lane at this point. I think that's really your only hope of getting by Mitchell Collins without drawing an avoidable contact issue. And here it is. He bumps him. He's going for it. And that was an F that moment right there. Lyle Austin to the race lead. He must have heard what I said and said, screw that. I'm going for a win now. But now you don't want to let that 12 get close to you again. I'm telling you, you let that 12 get back there, he's going to hit you back. Pit stops. The 2 leaders are in, and it's coming to lap 6, so you wonder if it's going to be a 2-stop strategy. Here comes Reggie Fogelman. What about Jessica Strauss? Who's not going to pit is the big question. It's going to be the 24, James Qualls. He wants to stay out. and lead this race. He's going to try to make it on a one-stop strategy. Pit speed is 55 here. I'm shocked. And you see James Qualls will get a lap led here. Haven't talked much about him in that Dreyer and Reinbold number 24. Of course, running the full season once again. He did run in the Indy 500, the first iteration of it. That was a standalone event. And look at that. The 8 gets out to quite a massive lead. And that's what Mitchell Collins feared. The 24 is the only car that stayed out. But one thing to note. Oh, an issue for the 9. He's fixing the damage. That's going to just about take him out of this race. And when the 8 ran that fastest time tracking down Mitchell Collins, that was the fastest time of the race, 2:17.78. And now we should expect James Qualls to pit this time. He'd be smart to do it. That 8's going to reel him right in. But again, James Qualls, he could be playing smart. We always say chess versus checkers. Is this the checkmate move right here by James Qualls? By staying out that extra lap, does he have enough? Is he going to have enough to get to the finish? Here he comes. That'll hand the lead right over to Lyle Austin. Mitchell Collins, again, you saw how much time he lost on that cycle. And this is what he was afraid of, but let's go on board. Let's show you a lap around Coda from the number 8, the fastest car on track right now. See how slow he has to corner it through 1. And another very technical racetrack. We go to St. Pete next week. That one will be a very interesting race. Here we go, heavy braking zone. And then this is the high speed part of the track. You'll see 190, 200 going in to the turn here. But look at the gears. He is redlining going into the braking zone. I mean, obviously in stock cars we always talk about the wear and tear those brakes take on these road courses, but we don't talk enough about redlining here as well. The redlining going into that turn, I mean, that could kill your engine right there. There's the haulers, so you see we're getting close to the beginning again. And here we go, final turn. Back onto the straight, and that's essentially a lap around Circuit of the Americas again. That 8 Lyle Austin, a 4-second advantage right now. And he just ran his fastest time of the race again. 2:17.61. And it appears Mitchell Collins might have pitted. No, there's Mitchell. Okay. 2:17.63. And you see the fastest lap times changing now. But Mitchell Collins just ran the second fastest time of the race. And he is going to try to chase down Lyle Austin, but he's going to need a lot of help. How many are holding back is going to be the other question. As you see James Qualls there. How much is he restraining himself right now? How much, the 06 dead ahead, JP Morgan, Mitchell Hodak, these guys in the middle of the pack who are really not in the picture right now, how much are they restraining themselves, saying, you know what, if we get a break here, these leaders do have to pit. You see how hard those leaders are pushing. Could we get a shot at it? Tim Randolph there. And these Chevy teams that are back there with 4.5 to go, what do they have up their sleeves? I mean, James Qualls is a Chevy team, or he does have a Chevy team with them. But is that something these guys are thinking about? Because they've been getting beat by Honda early. Of course, Andretti won the first race, and then Chip Ganassi's won the last two with Casey Naneko and Austin Shaw with 4 to go here. And it looks like it could be a Chip Ganassi third straight victory with the third different car. So that would leave only Alexander Rowe as the one who has not won a race yet. Five-second advantage for Lyle Austin. That's kind of been the story of the year. The fastest car, usually in the second spot, gets by right before pit stops and then routes everybody. Karen James, the last car in line. I wonder if anybody else left the race, and yes, they did. It looks like the 20 of Daniel Voiles and the number 5 of Samet Ozkan both had an issue. Maybe a little bit of a run-in themselves. And unfortunately, they are both done for the day. That's a tough break for Daniel Voiles. He has had a terrible start to his rookie campaign here on the IndyCar side. I believe he's the worst in the points of the guys running for the full championship. He's running even worse than some of these guys like Lyle Austin, who is only running for the road course title. That's one thing to note here. Lyle Austin is only running for the road course championship. Ben Cohen will be driving this car at Indy. And then at all the ovals. Not pitting this time, but you gotta wonder next time around. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like that 12 might have closed up a little bit. 2 to go here at Circuit of the Americas, or 3 to go here at Circuit of the Americas. And you see the gap under 5 seconds again. But I tell you, keep in mind, The other thing you wonder, again, I mentioned those guys mid-pack, but could Lyle Austin be stretching? Look at how hard he's pushing right now. Is he stretching this lead knowing I'm not going to have enough fuel to make it on one stop? You know, or at least the way we have it set up, we're not going to do one stop. So let's try to push this lead as high as it can go. So that way these guys 9th, 10th on back, if they're playing the one stop strategy, they can't get to us. Because, I mean, you look back, James Qualls right now, he's 40 seconds back. And it looks like the 29 has just left the race. That is Eli Wolf. But again, you look on back, Aubrey Scott, 36 seconds back. You know, Max Anderson, 36. JP Morgan, 36. Then you've got, like, Alexander Rowe and James Qualls, 40 seconds back. Austin Shaw's 45 plus on back. And then Casey Naneko, well, because that 9 took damage on the opening lap, that's why he's as far back as he is. I think at this point, if that 8 does pit, you've got to almost be certain that it's going to be a splash and go. And it's not going to be this time. But like I said, if you pit, I mean, pit speed's 55. You do a splash and go, that's maybe 4 seconds at most. Then you go 55 again, back out. I mean, you're going to be cutting it real close with those guys that are 40 seconds back. I imagine if the 41, you're saying 28, the 7, the 3, or the 98, I can tell you right now, any of those cars stay out, they're going to get the lead. There's no question there. But I look back at James Qualls, and again, if these guys go fuel only, I think he's in trouble. I don't think there's a way to sugarcoat it. It looks like the 28 pitted, so now the eyes are going to be on the 8. And especially on the 12 and the 26. And how's about this? The battle back here. Carter Joey closing in on Jessica Strauss. But again, we head back up front. And you see the lap time fall off. Almost 3 seconds, but you also see lapped cars dead ahead. The 9 is in, making his stop. Fuel only, and you see that was a very fast splash and go. And if that's what the 8 does, again, I question those guys 30 plus seconds back if they can make it. Excuse me. Because I just don't think they're going to get around them in time. Here we go. 8's in. 12 is in. And the 26. Again, keep in mind, it's 55 down the pit lane. Seven is in. We'll see if anybody stays out. Eight's already out and away. White flag. 1 lap of racing to go. Presented by Mitchell's Memes. And I think he's got this in the bag. But let's look on back, see if anybody stayed out. It appears the 24 did, but again, I said how far back he was, and it just won't matter at this stage of the race. What it will matter for is he's going to pick up some valuable points as him and the 3 of Carter Joey go door to door, and that's a battle for 4th on the track. They just touched wheels, and I thought James Qualls was going to go around. Kudos to him for hanging on, and he might just come home in 4th today if he can hang on. This race, though, Lyle Austin had that lead closed to 2 seconds coming off the pit lane, but it looks like it's in his hand right now. And I mention it again, we didn't know what to expect from Lyle Austin. He only ran super speedways, a few intermediates at the Jello Cup Series level. He ran okay at those. When he made the field, he ran okay. But again, that's only 10 attempts that we get to see him for, plus the All-Star race on a super speedway in a stock car. He signed up to run the road courses only, road and street only. And again, something we didn't know what to expect. We weren't sure if we were going to get a guy who could win races. We weren't sure if we were going to get a guy who was going to run 25th every race. But he's really built that resume here today. As through the final corner, Lyle Austin's going to give Chip Ganassi Racing their 3rd straight victory. And Lyle Austin is going to win here today at Circuit of the Americas. Congratulations to the number 8. Mitchell Collins, a good day. Reggie Fogelman. And how's about James Qualls? Someone wrong with the 98. But James Qualls is going to come home with a 4th place finish. It's not on the podium. But nonetheless, I mean, he played the strategy. We thought maybe he'd have a shot at the win. But hey, 4th place is good. Especially in a full season. That's a lot of points that are going to help him out in the long run. So good strategy by Dreyer Reinbold to take him from a mid-pack car to a top 10, top 5. But today belongs to Lyle Austin, the guy who's only running 9 races this season. And he gets the job done here at Circuit of the Americas. And we want to thank you for watching. We're going to show you results and your standings, and we'll be back on Tuesday for race number 5 from St. Petersburg. Until then, goodbye everyone.